Lover, lover, lover. Hello, culture hashers, culture hashettes. Welcome to the review of Taylor Swift's 7th studio album, Lover. As I'm sure you know by this point, Taylor Swift is one of the best known pop musicians around at the moment. Her last 3 albums have gone #1 in the UK. Lover comes 2 years after her most recent album, Reputation. Reputation was a bitter and disjointed attack on Taylor Swift's perceived enemies and the media in general. I was surprised that someone so young could have so many perceived enemies. What is she, Tupac? Thankfully, Taylor Swift has moved on from her score settling, which makes Lover a more positive project. This album doesn't do anything that's too exciting or too dynamic. It sticks very firmly within the present pop parameters. A lot of alliteration today. And this means snappy percussion, electro elements, a few hip-hop drums scattered throughout. Production is largely handled by Jack Antonoff and Taylor Swift. Together, this partnership is responsible for 11 of the 18 tracks on this project. At this point, Swift and Antonoff have worked together for a number of years, and it's a successful partnership that's responsible for some of the best tracks on Lover. Cruel Summer is an early representation of this partnership. It sees Swift and Antonoff team up with St. Vincent for a shimmering 80s pop style ballad. It's got these syncopated synths and these massive drums that really brings to mind Antonoff's previous work when he was part of the band Fun. The title track, Lover, is another high point of this album. It's a dream pop inspired ballad. The dreamy atmospheric production combined with Swift's angelic vocals really evokes Beach House in their signature style. I really enjoy the emphasis on those snare drums. Paper Rings is probably the best track on here. Feels like an 80s throwback with its massive production. I love how Paper Rings starts and it sounds all muffled and distorted. It brings to mind the style that Taylor Swift was going for on her 1989 album. Paper Rings has got frenetic energy, feels like it would work really well as a single. I think Paper Rings is the best track on here. I like the concept. Swift's energy and passion really just carry the song. But my issues with Lover as an album are the issues I have with just Taylor Swift in general. I feel like her style is a bit over earnest. The production's just a bit too clean on here. Feels a little bit manufactured. Tracks like Cornelia Street and Death by a Thousand Cuts feel really overproduced and just overly clean. Death by a Thousand Cuts is especially average. The percussion sounds like something that came out of the Cup song. I never got on board with lead single Me. I found the chorus really grating and just the message like, I'm Taylor Swift, I'm telling you, just believe in yourself and it's all going to be fine. It's forgettable, bland. We've heard Taylor Swift do that style of song before. It doesn't offer anything new to the audience at all. It feels like Taylor Swift going backwards to the style of her previous album, Reputation, talking about the online trolls and just how criticism can't hurt you. It's a synthy, bland, electro-pop track. London Boy is a fun track on here. Taylor Swift name checks various locations around my city. Someone on Twitter actually worked out the route she talks about on this track. It would take her about 5 hours on the tube to actually achieve this. It's fun hearing these places being shouted out, but it doesn't come close to the pinnacle of London-based tracks, American Boy by Estelle. Overall, Lover is an enjoyable project. Swift and Antonoff have created an enjoyable soundscape, taking inspiration from the 1980s, but modernising the formula to 2019. The 80s synths and style is applied more as an aftergloss on top of the album itself, rather than being the central focus like 1989 was. But Lover is a better album than 1989 because it's not as fixated on the 1980s. The 1980s nostalgia is more of a sheen on top of the production of the album. So for me, Taylor Swift, Lover is worthy of 6 out of 10. Lover, lover.